All right, welcome back to One Bills Live. Chris Brown, Steve Tasker with you. Time now for this week's Timbits Timeout, presented by, of course, Tim Hortons, where we solicit the fans to ask questions. We'll get to the fan question in a second. For this week's player guest, which is wide receiver Joshua Palmer, fresh off the practice field. Thanks for zipping over here in short order. Appreciate it. We talked to you after you signed with this team about what you thought it would be like, you know, being an Ontario native, being a lot closer to home, playing in front of this crowd, and you kind of gave us your thoughts on it. Did it exceed expectations on Sunday night? What was your first regular season game experience like?
It was unforgettable. I think it was exactly what I expected it to be.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you nailed it. Good for you.
I thought it was going to be very loud, very exciting, almost like a party.
Well, you were partying at the end, standing on the bench there, right? Yeah. I don't know if we all anticipated to have a dramatic ending like that. I mean, it ended the right way, but as it was happening and unfolding, are you like thinking, what's running through your head? You're like, oh my gosh, I think we're gonna do this.
The fumble, because my coach was saying how we're gonna get it back, and I was like, okay. And then
Coach Henry's telling you that?
Yeah, Coach Henry's like, we're gonna get it back, and then they fumbled, we recovered it, and we were so close.
Yeah.
And we scored, and I was like, oh, we actually might come back and win this. And then we scored, and then didn't get the 2-point conversion. Then I was like, dang, we might not actually get this. And then they fumbled. No, that we stopped them.
Right.
And I was like, oh, we might actually win this. Right. And then on my catch, I was like, oh, yeah, we definitely won this.
Well, your celebration after that catch was indication.
When you got back out on the field with Josh, with minute 30,
26,
minute 20 something in, minute and a half to go in
no
the game,
timeouts.
no timeouts. What was the vibe like in the huddle? How much confidence was there? Was there, what was that like?
It was cool. I mean, the guys on the sideline, I know Cook was just telling us, he came to me, at least I remember, he was like, we need you, bro. And I was like, all right. And then he was just going all to our receivers, like, we need you guys, like, right now. So it was. I say I was happy that I had the trust of the guys that going into the first game.
So on that catch, that obviously puts you guys in field goal range because you go out at the 35 in Baltimore territory. First of all, that's a seed of a throw. I don't have to tell you that, but that's like layering a pass with zip, which is not easy to do. But had you gotten your head all the way around in time before that? Because that ball was on you in a hurry. And I'm sure you've learned the last few months, you got to get your head around quick with Josh throwing to you.
Yeah.
But had your head gotten all the way around and then all of a sudden it's just kind of stuck in your hands?
No, I once it was man-to-man, I knew that I had a chance on getting the ball. Because that route is pretty much undefeated, honestly. But especially to the field. But when I saw it was man, I knew, oh yeah, there's a high probability I'm gonna get this. And when I broke off the DB, I looked back and just saw the ball on a line. I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah, because he threw it before you were out of your break.
Yeah.
He tried to. The DB tried to undercut it, thinking he was going to get it, and Josh put it over the top of him and
I think
layered it perfectly.
And I think that's where we've kind of developed our connection. Because I knew the way the DB was playing. I knew how I was going to come out. I knew he was going to try to undercut, and then I think Josh knew that I was going to take that angle and then just do it right over top of his head.
Right.
Yeah, and that only comes from reps.
Right.
Right? I mean, this is where reps pay off.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you hear about, I think fans hear, oh, we got to rep it in practice, chemistry. That's an example of chemistry right there. Because all the things you just said, you don't have any of that without reps.
Yeah.
And conversation back and forth,
like
right?
I feel like you have like the physical chemistry where you run the route, throw the ball, and then you have film chemistry where he might not throw that in a practice, but he sees it like, okay, yeah, I know this. I know he's going to do that every time.
Yeah, because he clearly read your body language on that. 'Cause like I said, it was out before you were out of your break, and then all of a sudden it's there.
We were talking just before we came on about the stats in the game, and there's always been this mantra here, the last couple of years, about this everybody eats thing where he's going to spread. 10 guys got targeted for the Bills in this game. 9 of them caught balls. and there's, top 5 guys had, Kincaid had 4. Everybody else had more than that. You, Cook, Shakir, Coleman. So the ball did get spread around. What'd that feel like to you coming here and being in a game for the first time that it was going to get spread around? I know it always gets spread around in practice and all that, but what'd that feel like for you, this everybody each thing, and then to have it play out the way it did?
You just have to be ready when your number's called. I think that's what it is. You just never know. You never know when he's going to scramble.
Right.
You never know when they're going to call the play for you. You never know when the ball might get tipped.
Right.
In Keon's case, you just don't know. So just run every route as if you're going to get the ball. I mean, I think receivers, we do that anyways, but it's just more emphasized here.
You've played on an offense with like Keenan Allen and some guys who were who were the finger quote number 1 guys and stuff. So you knew that when sometimes you weren't going to get a chance, right? How does that affect you during the week, getting ready for a game, knowing you know what, it don't matter. I could be the guy.
Yeah. You get dialed into the playbook because you never know when a guy might go down or when a guy might have to tie a shoelace.
Right.
So you have to jump in for him. Or if a guy might get tired, you have to jump in for him. But everybody is liable. There was a play where Josh got to the 3rd read, and I was the 3rd read on the end, and he threw it.
Yeah.
But it's just running that route, understanding you're not the 1st read, but still run it as if you're the main read. Know your role. As the 3rd read, know your role.
Yeah. Your dad was a little busy yesterday at the Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment Bills partnership announcement. For those that don't know, Joshua's dad, Keith Palmer, is the Deputy Minister of Sport for the province of Ontario. My question to you is, because he was an athlete himself, what was the biggest thing you learned about sports from him?
I played a lot of sports growing up. They put me in football. They put me in basketball. They put me in soccer. Anything that I could just play and get used to different movements, different motor skills. It helps with every sport.
Angles.
Because in soccer I played goalkeeper. I play receiver. In basketball, I played the guard, and I was always driving to the basket. Well, that helps with running routes, driving down the field, or being a ball handler and making moves on the line of scrimmage. Everything kind of
releases, right?
Everything plays into each other, kind of. But he had me playing football early, very, very early. I don't remember not playing sports.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough. All right, time now for this week's question from our fans, courtesy of Tim Hortons in this Timbits Timeout. So this question is from Greg, and he asks, "Hello, Mr. Palmer." Very formal. Excellent catch Sunday. It was a huge play. Can you tell me what it's like being in the huddle with Josh? He can be such a joker, but when I see him in the game, he's laser focused. Thank you. What is your description of him?
That is true. It's funny. I was literally telling somebody yesterday. Actually, my sister I was talking to. I think, was it my sister? I was talking to somebody yesterday, and I was saying how, in practice, in the huddle, he keeps it light. He's always joking around. So everybody kind of feeds off of that, and people kind of drop their guard and just practice loosely. But in the game, it's still that relaxed mindset, but it's like you said, laser focused, and you already know what to expect out of him. You know what to expect of him during practice, and you know what to expect of him during the game. You're not gonna get a guy who's up and down, and you don't really know what you're gonna get. But it's fun, in the huddles. He's not tripping. He's just asking where the guys are. For example, who would be Z on this play? Who's X on this play? And just full confidence, full trust. Sometimes we'll even be talking, leaving the huddle, trying to adjust the play or not, and it's cool. It's very fluid.
Yeah. Well, Joshua, thanks for the time. Appreciate you stopping in. Good luck on Sunday. Continue to stay healthy.
Thank you.
And good luck getting another victory.
Thank you.